Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Love Messages. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So tonight I have a no contact message from your person. I will be pulling from this deck here just to see how your person is currently feeling, how they are currently viewing you and or your connection, as well as any other important messages that they may have for you at this time, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get a very clear and concise message directly from their heart space. Okay, so the first message that we have here is clear cognizant. So right off the bat, I know that this is not only going to be a very, very specific reading, but this is also pointing to a very specific feminine. So if anything that I say following this does not resonate with you, do not try to force it to resonate, okay? I am reading for a high priestess. Anytime this card comes out, I'm speaking to a feminine who just knows. You don't know how you know. You don't know why God gives you these downloads specifically about your person, but I'm getting that they come to you. They are very, very repetitive, and you have come to realize that they are absolutely real. You have a very powerful energetic bond with a masculine, and it's almost as if you can feel every single thing that this masculine feels. You have insight on their thoughts. You have insights on their emotions, on the inner workings of their mind. But specifically when it comes to you, Divine Feminine, and the role that you play in their life, I feel like this masculine severely underestimates how intuitive you are. Okay? I am reading for a high priestess. This card does not come out often. I don't think it's ever come out in a reading before. So if you are here, I feel like you're not here to find out anything new about your person. You're here to receive confirmation. You may be here to understand just how much you know, because something about the energy of this reading just feels deeper. This is not tapping into those normal nudges that you receive about your person that are strictly emotional, or, when your person may be yearning or when they may be thinking about you. I feel like there's something bigger that's happening. And because you are a high priestess, even though you are disconnected somewhat through communication or with seeing your person, there's still this very, very powerful energetic link. And I feel like the signs or the nudges that you have been receiving lately are extremely intense. They're not normal, okay? They may be coming to you in a very, very different way, Divine Feminine. Maybe you're seeing your masculine in your dreams. Maybe the synchronicities or the signs that you see out and about are ramped up, or they're very, very emotionally charged. There's something different about this. There's something about your intuition or your nudges or the way that you receive downloads about your person that is not normal. But again, everything that comes out in this reading is merely going to be a confirmation for you. Maybe I'm the vessel to just put words to what it is that you're feeling. But I'm getting very clearly, you know exactly what's happening with your person. Wow. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have here is throat chakra. And I feel like this is going a little bit deeper into you and this masculine's dynamic. I feel like this is the reason why you and this person is in no contact, or this is the energetic blockage that has manifested between the both of you at this time. You are connected to a masculine who is not very open and honest. When it comes to their throat chakra, I'm just picking up on heavy blockages here. Most of what you receive from this masculine has been intuitive. It has been energetic, because you're connected to someone who may be afraid to actually tell you how they view you, to tell you what it is that they're feeling for you, Divine Feminine. But even in their ability to kind of pull back in those moments, I'm getting that you still receive the confirmation by way of gut feeling, by way of downloads, your spiritual team, your dream state. This person severely underestimates how intuitive you are. So the fact that this card is coming out here is very, very telling. It can go one of two ways. Either your person is still sitting in this energy where they are afraid to be emotionally expressive to you. They're afraid to look you in your eyes and tell you how they feel about you. Or this throat chakra energy is beginning to open. And that's why you're receiving all of these nudges or all of these downloads, or something about your inner knowing or your energetic bond just doesn't feel normal at this time. But I'm getting very, very clearly from the beginning, this masculine has been very, very calculated when it comes to the communication. They pick and choose what it is they want to share with you, Divine Feminine. This is someone that may come off very calm, cool, and collected. This is a masculine who may be very stoic. They could be extremely rigid around emotional expression. And it's a direct reaction to you, specifically your energy and your ability to kind of look right through them. You will be surprised the type of mental and emotional effects that could have on a person. So this energy is still kind of up in the air, okay? I don't know if this masculine wants to come towards you and lean in towards you, Divine Feminine, at this time, or if they want to pull back. But if you've been curious about what's causing a blockage, you know, how your connection is looking energetically, when you completely strip away the physical, there's something major happening in the throat chakra. And the throat chakra is not only connected to communication and truths, it's also a spiritual chakra. So it requires a certain level of awareness. It requires a certain level of depth for this masculine to actually communicate with you on that level. But this also tells me that this is a connection that has great potential, okay? This is not a lower level connection. And because you are coming through as the high priestess with this gift of knowing, you may already have known that from day one, but maybe your person is just coming into this information. Let's get the next message here. Wow. So the next message that we have here is heartbroken. Wow. Divine Feminine, if you're wondering how your person is currently feeling about you or your connection, this is how they're feeling. This is someone who has allowed their silence to completely alter their reality or to completely alter their love life. For some reason, this masculine thought that it would benefit them to withhold information, to be calculated with you, to maybe show up or express themselves emotionally in doses when it came to certain topics in your connection. But I'm getting very clearly this did not work in their favor. This actually led to you and them being no contact. You have no idea. Well, actually you do, because you're showing up as the high priestess. But there's so much that this masculine has on the tip of their tongue when it comes to you, Divine Feminine. It's almost like I'm feeling this very, very heavy energy. This masculine who's sitting on so many unspoken thoughts, so many unsent messages, and the energy is kind of spilling over into every area of their life. So you may be under the impression that this masculine is not thinking about you, that there's like this out of sight, out of mind type of energy that they're carrying, or maybe they're even presenting themselves in this way. But this is someone who is absolutely heartbroken over you and over what has become of your connection. And there's something deeper about this, okay? There's something that's happening in their world. This is affecting them in a real way. The masculine energy is very dense. It's very close to the physical reality. So oftentimes, in order for the divine to get their attention, it has to physically touch them. So there is something that is going on behind the scenes that's adding to this intensity, that's adding to this emotional overwhelm that your person is feeling right now. But it is absolutely linked to this blockage that they had in their throat chakra. So the fact that I'm feeling so much emotion from this masculine, maybe they're going over your connection. I feel like they're going over messages that they wanted to send you. There's something about the throat, the communication, them being able to speak freely to you that has always been a barrier here. Maybe you are the first high priestess that they've encountered. Maybe you're the first feminine that they've encountered that's deeply spiritual, that's really in tune with yourself, and that's self-aware. Because not only is the high priestess energy deeply intuitive, it's also a very powerful, receptive type of energy. The high priestess doesn't chase anyone. The high priestess knows, but she's not eager to give away what she knows. You know, she sits on wisdom, she sits on information, waiting for the right opportunity to share what it is that she has been blessed with, this wisdom that has been downloaded into her, okay? So someone is heartbroken because they have allowed their silence to make them fumble a very, very rare gem. And you're that rare gem, Divine Feminine. So in other words, they're realizing that the grass wasn't greener, okay? This is a huge turning point for the masculine because they're sitting back and they're realizing that they ignored a lot when it came to you, Divine Feminine. They severely underestimated you, your power, your essence, your spiritual gifts, your intuition, your ability to have this very, very powerful energetic link to them. But again, there's something deeper here. There's something that's happening in their reality that's really, really causing them some type of heartbreak. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is right person, right time. Wow, and immediately when I was saying that, I heard right person, wrong time. So I feel like that's the switch, Divine Feminine. If you're wondering what is it specifically about you that made your person withhold information or that made them not speak freely to you, it's because from the moment they first met you, this is how they view you. They thought that you were the right person at the wrong time. But now they're realizing that you were the right person at the right time. All of those feelings that you evoked, all of these different ranges of emotions that you made this masculine feel, they're realizing that that was intentional, that that was a godsend. I really feel like this masculine tried to measure you in a very, very linear way. But a high priestess is not linear, okay? You could meet someone and you could see into their future. You could see into their past. Nothing about you is normal in that sense. And I feel like this masculine never ever experienced that before. This is someone that wanted to love you in a very 3D, very linear type of way. But you were not sent into their life for that. Because there's an emphasis on the word time in this card here. I feel like they wanted you to fit in a specific block of time, or they wanted this connection to unfold in a very, very specific way. Almost like they had a time for when they wanted to say certain things to you, when they wanted to express certain things to you, when they wanted to see you, maybe when they wanted to introduce you to different levels of access to them, to their world, to their environment. But your energy is so much bigger than that. It definitely feels like this masculine completely missed the point. And this is why they're sitting back and they're heartbroken over you. Because they tried to make a feminine who has huge energy fit into a small little box. And it backfired. And I feel like the way that you have been carrying yourself during this no contact period, it just speaks for itself. Not only that, it deeply speaks to your character, Divine Feminine. Because with you being a high priestess, you know things, okay? And this masculine never has to pick up a phone and call you or shoot you a text or email you to tell you what's happening in their life. You can feel it in your gut. You know that something is off. You know that they're out of alignment. So this is definitely something that your person wants you to know, okay? It absolutely feels like they could be working through their throat chakra. And anytime that happens with the masculine, it means that they're being truthful. It means that they're putting words to things that they did not have the guts to say to you when they had the opportunity. This is someone that knows that you were the right person at the right time. But because they mishandled your energy and your gifts and just your essence, who you are as a person, they thought that you were the right person at the wrong time. And I feel like they treated you as such, okay? This is someone that may have tried to keep your energy very, very close while also limiting access or limiting the amount of access that you had to them mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Okay, this could have manifested in many, many different ways depending on where you are on your personal journey. But there is definitely an energy shift. And it's only shifting because your masculine is actually telling the truth. Now, they could be telling the truth to themselves. Maybe they're speaking to someone. They could be speaking to God. But once the energy is released, it absolutely changes the dynamic. Let's get the next message here. Wow. The next message that we have is, I lost everything for you. You were absolutely dealing with a masculine who is extremely 3D, divine feminine. I just have to be completely honest because it's almost like they're coming into some very, very deep or very heavy truths that you already knew or that you were already prepared for. This is a masculine who did not know what was on the other side of being with a high priestess or being with a spiritually inclined woman. You are a catalyst. Anytime you come into a masculine's life, it's to deeply change them. It's for them to find their authentic self, for them to get into alignment with their purpose, with their destiny. And if they're not ready for that, it turns into this. It turns into miscommunication, no contact periods, your person not being able to speak their truth, them holding back from you. It creates so many mental, physical, and spiritual blockages. So if you're wondering why the nudges or the downloads that you have been receiving at this time about your person are very, very heightened, it's because of this. It's because this is someone that wants you to know, I lost everything for you. Being connected with you has completely stripped your masculine of so much. And this could be connected to people, places, or things. Anything that's not in alignment with who they truly are. But it's almost like they had no idea that this was your actual purpose. This is why you crossed paths. This is why they fell for you. This is why they felt this deep magnetic pull towards you. Because the more that they engaged you, the more that they would see themselves. So yeah, this is someone that is coming into a lot of truth and a lot of clarity about who you are as a soul, divine feminine. And I don't know how much your masculine has shared with you about their own personal journey, but they have taken some losses when it comes to loving you, when it comes to being with you. And I feel like this is something that they want to express to you because their silence has also made them lose out on how deep this connection actually could be. And with this card falling directly under the throat chakra card, I feel like this is the biggest truth that they've been swallowing. They did not know how much they would have to sacrifice. Maybe it got too overwhelming for this masculine. Maybe they didn't have anyone that they could speak to about this situation or about the dynamic of your connection. Something about this feels deeply physical and very 3D, but it also feels very, very spiritual. But this is honestly what it looks like to be in love with a feminine who is a high priestess. It comes with a cost. So if you're wondering what's going on in your person's personal life, This is what's happening, okay? The path is being cleared. Things are being stripped away. And they're heartbroken because all of this is happening to lead them to you, and you're no contact, or you're very, very low contact. So your person is definitely trying to work through a lot of these blockages in the throat chakra because their silence has cost them a lot, okay? Wow. Let's get the last message here. Okay, so the last message that we have is this goes beyond logic. Yeah. Your person is realizing also that dealing with someone like you, Divine Feminine, nothing makes sense. Okay? Again, this is a masculine who's very linear. They are very, very 3D. They tried to take a connection that was deeply spiritual and make it logical. And it completely backfired. I just keep getting this energy of this masculine trying to kind of consume your energy in a way that was not for consumption. And now they're heartbroken because their heart got them into this situation that they severely underestimated. This is why many, many masculines will not indulge in a relationship with a feminine who is spiritually inclined, because it requires them to be self-aware. It requires them to go through this ego death where everything is being stripped away, where they have to physically let go of people, places, and things that do not align with their true soul. And to a masculine that lives their life in a very, very specific way, that goes completely against everything that they were told. It goes completely against who they are. So this is someone who's deeply in their feelings because their heart led them to you, Divine Feminine. Their heart got them in a situation that required them to change completely on the inside and the outside. And it honestly feels like they were not ready for that. They deeply wanted to make your connection make sense, but it doesn't. It defies their timeline. It defies any other 3D connection that they have ever been in. This is a man that has never loved a high priestess before. And loving a high priestess comes with a cost. You're not for the weak, okay? And if you've reached this point in the message, you already know this, okay? You know who you are. You know what is required to be with you. Maybe you also knew that your person was going to get to this point where they would absolutely have to be honest about how they feel, about you, about your connection, about what's happening external to your connection. This absolutely feels like a full circle moment. I feel like this is a buildup of something, okay? Because it's almost like this masculine is looking around, and the only person that will understand what they're going through, Divine Feminine, is you. And this is how I know that I'm reading for someone very, very powerful, because God wanted to get this masculine's attention. And I feel like their personal world, their physical reality, their 3D world had to be touched or altered, or something had to be stripped away or taken to get their attention, or to make them focus on something that is of high importance in their life. And you are connected to that in some way, okay? So this is definitely the buildup of something. I don't feel like this energy just stays here, that your person just feels this and continues to go on with their life. It feels like they may be reaching out to you, Divine Feminine, to begin to unearth a lot of these truths that they've been suppressing. But because you have this energetic bond to them, until they do that, you're just going to continuously receive these downloads. And this energy may continue to manifest energetically until your person makes a move physically, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to head over to Patreon just to see what you can expect next from your person following this awakening or this energy here. If you would like to tune in to the extended readings, you can find the link in the description box below, as well as in that very first pinned comment. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.